Can you get it?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Okay.
Coach, you want to start with the
Sure. There's a lot of great anticipation for the team this coming up year. We've got our most talented team that we've had during my time here, the deepest team and the most aligned team from a culture standpoint. Everything that we've had from the off-season standpoint as far as working together, where the leadership really has been from the players, from the bottom up, which is what we're looking for. I mean, we set the standards and expectations, and then they've been all off season and thus far this summer been the ones that holding each other accountable for that, and we certainly feel that we've got all the makings of a tremendous team that's coming up fall. And this camp, we walk into this camp with a great sense of belief. I'm sure that you guys felt that when our players are up here at the mic, there's just a great sense of belief amongst each other and with this team. There's just a different feel than what we've had. And obviously we've accomplished absolutely nothing. We're 0-0. A lot of people like to take what was last year and certainly very proud of some of the things that were done last year and talk about something like a winning streak and things like that. That doesn't exist. This team's a different team. We're 0-0. We've accomplished absolutely nothing, but there is all the makings of what we want this to be, which is an outstanding football team that believes in each other, that's working really hard to earn what we're capable of being.
Even if there's none that can carry over or win streak or anything like you were just saying, these guys, the way they finished last year was such on a high note, but they didn't make the playoffs. Do you feel like they have that sense this year? It's playoffs or bust. I mean, that's certainly on the radar for them.
Well, I know we certainly would like to have the opportunity to play in the postseason for sure. Again, no, as a program, we've won a certain number of games in a row. That's as a program, but this team hasn't. This team's a different team than last year's team, and I know that the expectation levels are extremely high amongst ourselves. I mean, the guys in the team meeting room, the guys in the locker room have really high expectation levels for each other, for themselves, and for us, what we're going to be able to do. And being a playoff team is certainly in that what we would like to accomplish and what we would like to be able to do is go play a 13th game. And I don't think that there's any mystery. Our guys are very, very well aware that you become a playoff team by having a great day today. And then the next day you wake up and you have another great day. That it's a day-by-day process of becoming that, not a put your eyesight on the bullseye and that's all you got to worry about is what happens 13 weeks from now or 15 weeks from now, whatever it might be. Is doing a great job today, and then that's how we become the playoff team that we want to be and a championship team like we would like to be.
You talk about talent and depth, and obviously you've got a good problem. In fact, you've got 4 or 5 good quarterbacks. So I know it's only been 4 days, but can you kind of give us an update on the situation there, depth chart there?
Absolutely. It's been 6 minutes since the start. I was kind of shocked that was it took that long to ask about a quarterback. We just finished up practice number 4 yesterday. We've got a number of guys that are certainly very, very talented that are capable of leading the team. We're by no means in a situation right now to name a guy at this point in time. So each guy's had a day that they played a little bit better and a day that they haven't played as well. But I think that all 4 of the guys that are upperclassmen are playing at a high level of football, a high enough level of football to be very much in the mix still for this position. We haven't even had our first scrimmage, so only 2 days of pads. It's just really too preliminary to have any separation or anything different than what we had in the spring. So that's really where we're at. It's not me dodging the question. It's just reality of being 4 days deep.
They all fit well into Adam's offense?
They do. I think that each guy, and they're different. They are different, but there's enough flexibility within the system that if a guy's a little bit better runner, that can be featured. If he isn't quite as much of a runner, we can have him either hand it or throw it. And there's enough, hey, this guy's really good with balls down the field, we can do that, versus this guy's a little bit more short area. The complexity of what we're doing, we can expand in any of those areas or limit in any of those areas based upon the strength of the guy that's in the package. So that's really a positive for us. I think that each of the guys, we would have to tailor a little bit towards their strength, but I think that's everybody in the country is doing that. You're tailoring towards what the strengths of your guy in that position are.
Is there a timeline as to when you'd like to have a starter name?
Yeah, we're certainly going to do it before the first game. No, whenever, we don't have a set timetable of exactly when that is. I think that it'll become apparent at some point in time, and when it does, then that's when we'll do that. I think if we try to force the hand on that wouldn't be necessarily the best of situations. But yeah, we would like for it to be sooner than later. I mean, for sure, you want to go in and be giving a guy a larger chunk of the reps so that he can continue to develop that. But at the same point in time, you want to make sure that it's the right decision. So we're going to wait till it becomes a little bit more apparent. It's not at this point in time like this is clearly the guy and everybody in the field is in agreement and so forth. So that will happen, I venture to say. And when it does, we'll name the person at that point in time and handle it appropriately.
What are some of the improvements you want to see just over the next couple of years overall as a team?
Yeah, so, we've already had some big strides in the first couple of days, and all through summer, our guys have been here working their tails off and doing all of those things, working together. They get together and they throw on their own and do some 7-on-7 and things along those lines. You saw in the first couple of days the habits that they're going and executing, but some of the effort clips and effort habits that you would anticipate would be game-like, they are not quite the same when us as coaches are not around. So that's been our biggest focus these first couple days, is really getting our playing effort habits and style of play habits back, because it goes from a little bit more of the summer mode where they're doing it to our expectation of body on body, the ball's thrown, everybody's eyes downfield, get a body on a body, block for the guy with the ball, pursuit to the football. It's not he threw over there, the play's over, as it usually ends up going in the summer. It's a turn and run as fast as you humanly possibly can until you hear the whistle. So those have already, that's been a big step that we've had. Obviously, we're working a lot of different guys, because everybody asks about the quarterback position, but there's a whole bunch of battles going on for playing time. And it's not that we're going to play 11 guys and just 11 guys, but as time goes, a lot more is going to become apparent of, hey, we might be repping 17, 18 offensive linemen right now. Well, before long, that number is going to get to be a smaller number. What number is it? It's going to be more than 5. We're going to play more than 5 guys up front, but what is that number? Is it going to be 10? Is it going to be 8? What is that going to be? And when we get to that point, really the gelling of working together. Obviously, 4 days in, we don't have our whole package in. I mean, we've got our meat and potatoes of first and second down. We've got our red zone in. We've got some of our third down in, but we still have a lot of install to go. We still have a lot of the intricacies that come up in a game, maybe not every game, but in several times a season. We've got to get through a lot of those things and make sure we're getting the reps. So just coming together as a team, looking more like a final product is where we've got to get to over the next week and a half of camp.
How relieving is it, if at all, I guess, for you as a coach to know that you have such a veteran group, and you talked about the belief that they have, and family has been brought up with those guys numerous times just this morning and this afternoon. What's it like for you as a coach to have guys like that?
I love this team. They're a lot of fun to be around. There's a knowledge of the expectation level. There's a belief in the expectation level. And that's really where I think that we've gotten to at this point in time, where it's not just we've grown from learning it to knowing it and now believing in it. And they believe in, yes, these are the expectation levels, and yes, this is what I want them to be too. And that's fantastic. And that makes coming to work and coaching football, which every single one of us loves to do already, it makes it even more fun because the guys want it to be this way. And seeing guys that believe in each other, that certainly as a coach is something that warms your heart because that's a great feeling. These guys really care about each other and they believe in each other and know that they're accountable to each other and can count on each other. So that's really is it's where you want it to be. And we still have a long ways to go. I don't want to make it sound like it's a utopia at this point in time. We're still growing, but we're a big step forward in as a team than where we were a year ago. And when I say that as a team, we talk about family around here as a family. I mean, I think we've taken a big step talent-wise and those things as well. But just as a team, you just have a different feel for how things are right now, which is in a very positive way. There's a different feel.
Daryl's not a big guy, he's only 5'8", but he had 144 touches last year, and without LJ, they probably asked him to take more, but it looks like he's ready to step up and play a bigger role in the offense and carry the load.
Yeah, Daryl's not very tall. Have him take his shirt off, and you're not going to fight him. I can tell you that much. I mean, he's a muscled-up young man. He's worked really hard in the weight room over the last 3 years to put muscle. I mean, he came in fairly scrawny. We joke about that a bunch, and he's put on a lot of good weight. I certainly think that he's going to be capable of carrying the football more for us. I also think that we've got a couple other backs that maybe didn't get as many carries a year ago that will be able to also take on some of that load as well because we're very capable at that position. And we're going to need multiple people to carry the football effectively for us. I mean, that's a tough position. You get hit a lot. There's a lot of bumps and bruises and injuries that go with that position. So we do anticipate Daryl taking on a larger and even larger role this year. He's been a huge part of our offense the last couple of years. He'll have an even larger role, but we're going to need other guys to also have a larger role there in the backfield so that we can stay healthy and be a complete team.
Obviously, Aaron Patrick, a lot of preseason accolades and stuff, and he's obviously worthy of all those, and he's proven the last couple of years that he's probably one of the best defensive players in the FBS.
Yes. I think that he would be one of the best players in the FCS. He's certainly one of the best players in the FCS. He's a very talented young man. We certainly are when he's playing really well, we're a good defense, because he's good in both aspects, both against the pass. I mean, he can rush the passer. He can run around that edge. He messes up our daggone team drill an awful lot because he runs around the corner and sacks a quarterback or tags off on him an awful lot. But he's really good against the run, too. I mean, he is way stronger than what you'd think. I mean, he's very powerful, very strong, can hold the point of attack. He's been having this has been his best camp so far. I mean, it's only 4 days deep, but this has been his best camp thus far. Seems very focused. I'm really excited about where he's at this point.
Are there any other underlying players that, I don't know, maybe you could give some recognition to that have been showing strides this practice and stuff?
Yeah, I think there's a bunch. I mean, I don't want to single out one or two. We are deep, or we're going to play a lot of guys in meaningful time on both sides of the football. I think that we've got a lot of really good football players. We've got guys that will play a large role for us this fall. And again, it's pretty early in camp. I mean, there's still a lot of battles going on of distribution of playing time. Who's going to take 50 snaps and who's going to take 30, who's going to take 10, and all those things. There's still a lot of that going on at this point in time. But just in general, feel very good. Feel like collectively as a team, we're a focused team. We're a team that very much is heading in the right direction.
So when I talked to you the other day, we talked about being take third, and you said that nobody was happy with that, and the expectations were bigger than that. And, I mean, obviously, it's just a preseason poll. It doesn't really matter anyway. But
Yeah.
The expectations are higher than that.
I haven't really asked if anybody. I hope nobody cares that we're picked because preseason accolades are certainly usually based upon last year's. I mean, where did we finish last year? Third. Shocker. We're preseason third. It's amazing how that works. Really, my point is I think if we finish where we're picked right now, I feel like every man in that locker room, every man in the team room will be disappointed that that's where we finished. We have higher expectation levels than apparently what the outsiders feel we're capable of. So, which is great. I mean, we go play 12 games. I mean, we get the opportunity to show exactly what we're worth. Are we worth more than that, the same as that, or less than that? Well, it's up to us. We got to go show what we're valued at. What are we worth? So we get an opportunity to do that. So none of that preseason stuff matters. It's what do? We get the opportunity.
So it's obviously a challenging schedule too. I mean, Indiana State, you got to go up there. That's a good team. You got to go to Louisville. You got to go to Jacksonville. You got to go to SEMO. You got to go to EIU. Those long conference road trips. So
Sure.
It's definitely a difficult schedule.
Yeah, no, I think we play a good schedule. I do. I think a couple things. It's neat that we got a 12-game schedule. This team's a fun team to coach, so you want it to last as long as possible. We are looking forward to very much playing in December and playing more than 12. It's a difficult schedule. We play the same 8 conference opponents every year. Whether those are home or away, it's irrelevant. We got to be able to win whether it's home, win whether it's away. I don't care if we got to jog there or if it's a 12-hour bus ride or a 5-hour bus ride. That stuff doesn't matter. We got to win. And then we've got a 4-game non-conference schedule that I think is very good. So I'm very excited about the schedule this coming up season, an opportunity for us to show what we're worthy of. And I'd like to, on a side note, say that 8-game OVC schedule I think is undervalued. I think that our conference doesn't get enough credit. And I think you see that when you go and you look at last year, we had 2 teams make the playoffs a year ago. Both of them won a first-round game. You look at since the playoffs have been expanded to 24 teams, the OVC conference has won 45% of their games in the playoffs. That's pretty good. I don't know exactly where that fits in the big picture of all the conferences that have an automatic bid, but I bet it's pretty good. I bet it's way better than what a lot of people think. This is a conference that last year, us getting 2 in, that shouldn't be the outsider. That should be at bare minimum the norm. And there's a lot of good football in this conference, and we need to get the recognition that we deserve. And part of that is we got to, when we get an opportunity to go play another FCS opponent that's not in our conference, we got to go win. And I can tell you this, I'm cheering like crazy for every other OVC team when they go play a team in another conference at the FCS level. I want them to win. I want us to go undefeated out of conference. That's what I want us to do. Go show how good we are. Okay. Really appreciate you guys coming out and covering us. Thank you guys. Yeah. You guys are welcome anytime.
All right.
So appreciate you guys. Anybody want a T-shirt or anything? We got T-shirts. T-shirts.
I would say T-shirts.
Yeah, T-shirt. There we go. All right.